Want to be impervious to pain? Good. Then pay attention. Through that, all pain dissolves into lotus flowers. Siddhartha Gautama. Probably. Look, it doesn't matter who said what. It's a statement that describes the magical transformation of any sensation into something beautiful, and is therefore worthy of our consideration. It's compassion. Hi, by the by. We're here to talk about compassion, the most powerful magical ability the Buddha possessed. And of course, we're all here the Tathagata in disguise, so why should we not also get this magical ability? This mechanism, beloved by all, the path that lightens the heart. Compassion. Most people don't quite know what to think of when they hear the term. Maybe they start imagining a dirty homeless and think of pity. Or people equate the term with mere empathy, the social lubricant automatically squirted out by social animals. But that's not compassion either. Because compassion, as opposed to the other two, has the wonderful quirk of always being beneficial. Why, you ask? That's a wonderful question, exalted one. So let's strap in and explore the C word together. First, let's differentiate compassion from empathy. Empathy is an automatic biological reaction of our body that helps us stay coherent as a group of social animals. It makes it much more easy to relate to or support one another if an individual can mirror the feelings that someone else is exhibiting. A huge revolution in group dynamics, no doubt, but compassion goes beyond that. It's about the conscious application of empathy. It's about keeping your heart open effortlessly, even while it's breaking in pain. Compassion, namely, describes the sentiment of understanding how a person feels while also wishing for them to be happy. It's realizing that they are essentially the same as you, as in they are warm, neurotic sacks of mostly water going through the motions, wishing to be happy. So compassion brings us closer together by nature, because it can only ever be found on common ground. Happiness describes the realization that all is well. So in essence, everybody would like to be happy all of the time. And by understanding that it's only our own idiotic perspectives that keep anyone from being happy, we can open up our hearts and realize the alternative to drowning in any sensation, including pain. By understanding that all it is just sensation. And sensation is just happening. Neither inherently good nor bad. Pity describes quite the opposite process. It's a sentiment that occurs when we see someone in a situation in which we ourselves would not want to find ourselves in. It necessitates a rejection of some kind and usually leads to disgust and resentment. Pity separates us from one another and is limiting by nature, while compassion brings us closer together and is limitless. Pity is limiting because it always needs for some experience that we don't appreciate. Otherwise, it can't exist. There's only a limited number of those. Compassion, on the other hand, can be applied to any and all experiences, which makes it infinite. Only through compassion are we able to take the cavalcade of anguish that is life and turn it into something we can effortlessly deal with. The enemy you know is always more manageable than the enemy you don't know. And while I wouldn't call my dear old friend pain an enemy, the analogy still stands. Now, it might seem unhelpful to deal with pain in this way, because, as any attentive viewer may tell you, it doesn't actually prevent the pain from being experienced, but there is no way at all to keep pain from being experienced reliably. It's just another part in this stance of life, as necessary as air, laughter, and foot fungus, and as inexorable as death. You may paraphrase Marcus Aurelius saying, "Pain smiles at all of us. The only thing we can do is smile back." If you can enjoy pleasure, you can enjoy pain also, because they're both the same in essence, namely sensation. And compassion is the mechanism through which this enjoyment is made possible. Even more, compassion doesn't stop at pain. As aforementioned, it can be applied to any experience, including the experience of experiencing yourself. Through effortless action, you can experience compassion for yourself, which dissolves any apparent problem into a shower of rainbows. But this is probably still too vague for some of you. The mechanism may have been explained in theory, but the practical application still eludes you. Well, let me help you with that. Please close your eyes for a moment and imagine someone who you honestly love, someone whose well-being is very near and dear to your heart. Now imagine them suffering because of from your perspective, completely idiotic reason. Anything you believe to be hilariously myopic, meaningless even, but they are experiencing it as insurmountable and world-ending at this moment. Imagine their pain, their desire for the situation to stop. Feel the empathetic tightness in your chest as you see your beloved in this state. Now turn your attention on their capability to realize their predicament. Imagine how well they would feel if they'd gained your perspective. Visualize their capacity to change their beliefs at any moment, because anyone can always change their perspective. Like a human believing to be blind only because they awoke with a blindfold upon their eyes. Realize the possibility of them simply taking it off and smiling at you. Feel how silly that makes the situation, and realize the beauty that they are missing out on just because they're holding on to their negative beliefs. Try to feel that tightness in your chest again. Really try to locate it. Maybe its shadow still lingers, just emptiness remaining, because of your compassion. Your method for the conscious application of empathy, the only consistently beneficial way to deal with discomfort and pain. For maximum stimulation, please tear open your eyelids again. Keep in mind to always take the experience of people just as serious as someone telling you a delightful joke, as the process won't work if you take them either too serious or not serious at all. There is nothing essential separating you from being anyone else. A small exchange of bodies, and you would feel just like they do. Keep that in mind, but also understand that it is a choice to drown in anguish at feeling the feeling, just as it is a choice to embrace the sensation tenderly and turn it into soft, velvety strands of light. Shared suffering, contrary to popular belief, doesn't actually help out anybody. The only thing it leads to is more people suffering, which is precisely the worst thing that can happen. If you want to help somebody, first help yourself. You can't let yourself get dragged down into the deep morass of despair right alongside them and expect to be able to help them get out. To help someone out of quicksand, you must first stand on stable ground yourself. Become the swarm walker. Walk alongside those who live in anguish. Be the helping hand, stretched out, ready to help. Be the shining light of compassion. Or don't. But now you're aware of how to do it if you want to. Enjoy.